Hello, this is Fiona, host and main GM for What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast. This episode is a little bit different to our normal episode release. It's an announcement kind of episode, which is very exciting. Lots of stuff has been going on in the background, so I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to update you all on what's been going on. Please don't panic or worry, there will be an actual play episode later on this week, and normal service will resume after that. So, first of all, the big announcement. I am delighted to say that What Am I Rolling is now a part of the One-Shot Podcast Network. Woohoo! This is a network dedicated to podcasts, videos, and streams all about tabletop games, founded by James D'Amato. It features a number of incredible shows such as One Shot, Campaign Skyjacks, Courtier's Call, the Ultimate RPG Podcast, System Mastery, Character Creation Cast, and lots more besides. WAIR is just one of 4 shows joining the network this fall. We'll be joining alongside Game Woven, an actual play show with a big focus on world building, and Roleplay Retcon, a podcast that remakes flop movies with TTRPGs, and another show that's yet to be announced. So yep, WAIR is finally joining a network. Oh, I can't tell you how exciting it is. I've had to keep it quiet for a little while. When I first started WAIR back in 2018, I could not predict the impact that this show would have on my life. Ultimately, I just wanted an excuse to play RPGs, but I also wanted to learn how to run them properly and well, and help others learn them too. Because at the time, a lot of actual plays just assumed you knew what the system was and what you were doing. In fact, I distinctly remember when I was doing my research for the show that the only podcast out there that went out of its way to teach folk the rules was the One Shot podcast. So yeah, it's quite a surreal moment for me, as you can imagine. Through WAIR, I've become an improviser, an interviewer, an editor, a actual play performer, a streamer, and a little bit of a voice actor as well. To date, there have been over 190 episodes on the podcast, including a whole lot of bonus interview episodes with game designers from around the world. Since I started the podcast, I think I've run roughly about 75 different RPG systems, give or take a couple, which is just wild, right? So to join the One Shot Podcast Network, it means so much to me as a TTRPG creative. Honestly, it feels like a very big turning point. So please have your fingers crossed for us, for the show, as we make the next steps. Speaking of, WAIR is going to be taking part in the upcoming One Shot Network Patreon drive, which is happening in mid-October. So keep an eye on all the socials for more information. To support One Shot Podcast Network and to get glimpses behind the scenes, go check out their Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/one-shot-podcast. All right, the next announcement I have is that we've got an actual play live stream happening tomorrow, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. So, Monday, 30th of September at 7:30 BST or 1 PM Central Time on the WAIR Twitch and YouTube channels, we are going to be hosting an actual play live stream along with the Effect podcast to celebrate the end of their Kickstarter for Tales of the Old West. Tales of the Old West is a TTRPG of gritty, hard-hitting action and adventure set in the American West, a world where the dangers you face lurk in the hearts of other folk, all from the very land beneath your feet. I will be joined by game designer and Effect podcast co-host David C. Mark, who will be running a very special scenario for us using this system. We're also going to be joined by an incredible cast. Michelle Kelly, Lou Fryer, Liz Campbell, and Jordan Carmichael, all from the TTRPG sphere and audio drama community here in the UK. So I am so excited for it. My aim is to put the audio from this live stream up on all podcast feeds after it is out. So if you can't catch us live, please don't worry, you're not going to miss out. The Kickstarter for Tales of the Old West is still going on, so please go support it if you can. You might recall that I did an interview with the game designers a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to put a link to the Kickstarter campaign and to the free quick draw rules in this episode's show notes for you to check out. Some other things of note that I've been doing in the meantime, because I don't often get to say these things out loud on the podcast. I am currently in an actual play series which is streaming over on Friends of the Show, the RPGeeks Twitch channel. Once a Hero is a 7-part D&D series where a retired adventuring party are called back into action once more after many years apart. It has been an absolute delight. We have an incredible cast for it. We've got Emily Bates, Sharmini Bundell, Ed Spence, and the wonderful Zach FG as our DM. If you like drama with a capital D and shenanigans and heartbreak all rolled into one, then this is the actual play series for you. You can check out the VODs over on the RPGeeks Twitch and YouTube channels, and of course, I will make sure to post a link in the show notes as well. I recently did a couple of solo TTRPG streams for EUPhoria, a streaming platform which aims at raising the bar for diversity, safety, and excellence in the UK and EU TTRPG scene. Headed by the wonderful Darcy and Ida, EUPhoria have put together some incredible events, including the Summer of Sci-Fi that happened in August just recently, and the upcoming British Black History Month. For the Summer of Sci-Fi, I did 2 solo streams. For Small Creatures Such as We and One Breath Left, 2 sci-fi games with very different vibes and very different endings. And as of today, my stream of A Rush of Blood should be out as well, a solo game about being a vampire's favourite feeding subject. If you have a moment, please go check out these free RPG streams. I think they're all a great example of how to get started playing solo TTRPGs. Be sure to follow EUPhoria on all socials listed in the show notes to find out what they've got coming up next. And finally, I'm going to talk about PodcastZone and Dragonmeet. So UK and EU TTRPG podcasters, this might interest you. Dragonmeet is one of the most vibrant UK tabletop gaming conventions, and this year it's happening on Saturday, the 30th of November at the Novotel in Hammersmith, London, UK. PodcastZone is a chance for TTRPG podcasts to come and promote their shows at Dragonmeet, as well as connect with other members of the actual play community. Though the Zone signups and applications for live shows will be closed when this announcement goes out, I would very much appreciate anyone who's listening to this to help spread the word. We're hoping to reach new folk within the TTRPG podcasting space and invite them to be part of our community. I also want to highlight the incredible work going on in the POC Lounge happening at Dragonmeet this year. The wonderful Taylor Navarro, who we've had on this podcast talking about her games, has put together a fabulous schedule. So POC folk who are interested in TTRPGs have a chance to meet up and enjoy a whole host of panels and workshops. To keep up to date with news about PodcastZone and the POC Lounge, please follow PodcastZone UK on all your go-to socials. Our link tree is also in the show notes as well. Whew, I think that's everything for now. Let's see. Oneshot Podcast Network announcement, Tales of the Old West livestream, Once a Hero on RPGeeks, EUPhoria solo streams, and PodcastZone and POC Lounge at Dragonmeet. Yep, all done. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, I am super hyped and I can't wait to see where goes from here. I'm going to sign off with our new trailer that I've done for the network. So thanks once again for listening, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you know your D8s from your D12s? Do you know your modifiers from your bonuses? Do you know your luck points from your story points? No idea what any of the last 3 questions mean? Come check out What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. I like exploring different RPG systems, rule sets, and the stories they create. I also like talking to game designers about how to run their games. So, come check it out. We would love to have you. The What Am I Rolling podcast, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Part of the One Shot Podcast Network.